Hey up everybody. Right then, today I'm going to have a look at something different to my usual things. To start with, I've got 3 stickers coming from various channels. I just want to have a little bit of a discussion about them. And then the other thing is what a lot of people mentioned to me in the past, and I never get around to showing it, is what's over here in the square window on the windowsill. I've got a couple of stationary engines that I've had stuck up there for donkey's years. I think it's one of the first things I ever made that got me into this model engineering game and Steam game and various things like that. So I've got them off its shelf and dusted them down, and I'll show you these. In fact, I'll even show them you running. But to start with, then I'll just run through these stickers that I've had come. Let's start off with Paul at Haxby Shed. I've only really just come across Paul, and him likewise to me. I think we've seen each other in the past, like stumbled onto each other, but you know, wrong place, wrong time, I think Paul said. Yeah, and that's true about me really. I mean, the thing is with YouTube, there's that many channels on, it's impossible to latch onto everything, isn't it? So usually you find other people through other people, etc, etc. So that's how Paul found me. Anyway, we're in touch, and in Paul's last video, he did a really good video, his last video. I mean, maybe he's put another one out since, so don't quote me on the last video. But in the recent video, he gave a shout out to one or 2 channels, and in particularly a channel, Kimber Zelic. He tried to get him that push to get over 1,000 subscribers, and it worked. He got there because Kimber were stuck on something like 965 for eons. And he couldn't get moved, and thanks to Paul, which is perhaps something we all ought to do really a bit more, is you know, push other people that's new to, especially Kimber. He calls himself a student machinist. So yeah, maybe we all ought to do that a little bit more, and like I said, by Paul doing that, it pushed Kimber straight over to his 1,000, his magic number, which he were trying desperately hard to get. And another channel he mentioned, which I've got here actually, was Julie's Shed. She was stuck on somewhat similar to Kimber, perhaps 980 something, and because Paul put her sticker up, I think that pushed Julie over to her 1,000 as well. So it's good like people like Paul can do that and help out, and it's perhaps something we all ought to do a little bit more of. Anyway, so that's Paul at Haxby Shed. Then I've just mentioned Julie's Shed. I've been watching her quite a lot, and she's just managed to reach the 1,000 subscriber mark. So there's not many, well, I'll say women, I'll say ladies, there's not many ladies or women in this hobby, and I take my hat off to Julie. She does a real good job with locomotives, and yeah, so that's Julie's Shed. So go over and take a look at Julie, and she does a lot of nice things to do with locomotives. One particular thing that I always see on her channel is this model engineering society with this lovely layout. I don't know, I'm not very good with small gauge, but it's the small gauge stuff, Garden Railway I think. I'm not quite sure what you call each individual gauge, but I'll just call it Garden Railway. There's this lovely scenic view that she shoots of this Garden Railway, and if there weren't no live humans occasionally get into shot, it looks very realistic, and the layout with all these arches and viaducts, etc., it looks really well. So we'll keep your eye out for that one on Julie's Shed. And then the other one I've had, which I've recently dropped onto, is Stuart Shenanigans. Again, I think Stuart's quite new to YouTube, and I'm still working my way through his videos, but he does mention in his write-up on his about page that he's new to machining, I think, and is biased towards steam engines and things like that, but he also does other things, like a bit like I do really. I pull other things in besides steam and things like that. So that's Stuart then. I think he's pushing for his 1,000 mark. He's 900 and something last time I looked. So I'm going to do a poll on Axby's Shed here. Go over and give Stuart at Stuart's Shenanigans a little bit of a push to get him over his 1,000. I didn't show you Julie's Shed one, did I? That's Julie's Shed. And then again, I didn't show you Paul. That's Axby's Shed. So I'll get these up on sticker board, you three, and I'll take a look over there where I've had in my square window what people keep asking me about. Every now and again I get a message, what's them engines in your windowsill, and I never ever get round to showing them. So just for anybody that might be starting out in this game, you'll find that, and it can put people off this, you'll find that castings, drawings even, and materials in general, they're quite expensive. But I'm going to be honest, I made them with no drawings. Well, I did use a drawing, but the drawing was free. I'll show it you in a minute. I made them from basically just bits and pieces that I had lying around my workshop, and I've not bought anything for them. So you know, if you feel as though you've got limited scope for buying castings and things like that, you don't have to. Just use whatever you've got. This is a single cylinder. In fact, I'm going to have to look because it's that long since I did it. It's a single cylinder balance beam steam engine with a cylindrical valve. That's how it's labelled. And the other one here is just a vertical single pistoned engine. That's what I'll call it. This is the drawing I made this to, and it's by J.A.M. Dewall from New Zealand. I think he calls himself, I've read it somewhere, JDW Drafting Services. I've seen it somewhere, but that's the drawing that I downloaded off his website to make. I know it looks quite involved on there, but you know, take that wheel for example, that flywheel. I made it from a, what diameter is it? An 8-inch. Is it 8-inch? No, it's 10-inch. I made it from a 10-inch pulley. I just turned the V off the pulley, and then I shrunk fit a piece of steel on the outside to make it look, you know, as though it were a solid wheel. So yeah, you can do all these using limited materials really, just what you've got lying around or from your Model Engineering Society or whatever. So that's that one, and then this little one here, this is a vertical single cylinder engine. So he's got loads of these that you can make. He's got a beginner 1, a beginner 2 and a beginner 3. I think they're wobblers, I think they call them wobblers, but this is a piston one, a single cylinder piston. So if you just click on number 1 then there's just one sheet to do. And that'll get you that one made in no time. Then if you look a bit further down, there's various 3-cylinder, 2-cylinder models, radial models, vertical, horizontal, you name it, they're on here. Then we get down to more complicated ones. Is that mine again, that one, look. Now that one looks complicated. An 8-cylinder something or other with slide valves, and that's this one. So yeah, they're all there to download and use. Right, let's have a look at these in motion. So basically then, for all the people that message me, email me and ask me what's them engines in your windowsill, that's them. All cleaned and dusted down now, just want painting and finishing off. I'll put compressor on and we'll have a look at them running. And just for anybody that's wondering why I've got my micro lathe project all covered up, it's because maybe this video might come out before I show what I've actually done to this. I'm a couple of videos in front. I think that's it for this one then. I'll sign off for now then. If you found that useful and interesting, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, I'd appreciate that. And I'll catch you next time then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.